Hi guys, this is a video I've been wanting to do for a little while now, sort of covering how to figure out how many calories you're going to need in a day, if you're on a cut, if you're on a bulk, depending on your goal, and also sort of figuring out your calories if you're on for performance as well. So I get asked this quite a lot. I thought it'd be easier just to do a video and sort of explain the sort of different processes. This won't be a completely comprehensive video to do with all types of diets and styles. There's loads of different things out there. This is just going to be a way that I use and that you can use to figure out how many calories you're eating and sort of how to break that down. Okay, so that brings me into the priorities. Whether you're losing weight, bulking, or maintenance or performance, the number one priority is finding out the number of calories you have coming in and the number of calories you have going out. So I'll cover a formula for that a little bit later on, but that's going to be the thing that makes the biggest difference. So you could eat a very, very clean diet, but if your calories are too high, then your body fat is still going to go on. And the same that you could have a very poor diet nutritionally, but if you're in a deficit you will lose weight as well. So I'm not suggesting you go on like a pizza cut or anything, but you can do it. Macros, we'll have a look at how to calculate macros. Nutrient timing, this is something that isn't as important as these two, but if you're looking for sort of an edge in performance, that will be something that you want to look at. And then the last thing on the list is food composition, so what it's actually made up of, protein being the main one that you need to get right, and then the carbs and fat will be slightly different depending on sort of what you react to better, if that makes sense. So we'll have a look at those. Okay, so the next thing we look at now is the macros and the calories in and calories out. So the next thing we're going to look at is how you can figure out your calories, your resting sort of metabolic rate, and based on your activity, sort of what kind of calories you might need. So the way we're going to do that is going to use my example man, Jim. Jim is 28, male. He works as a builder, so that's important to know that the lifestyle factors that he's going to be quite an active person for his job. Jim weighs in at 200 pounds or 90 kilos, and it's important to have those figures because that's going to give us our sort of starting numbers. So what I would do is use this information, and using the Harris-Benedict formula, which you can find online. I won't bore you with it, it's a bit fiddly to learn a calculator, but you can find something online to use. That his base metabolic rate is going to be around about 2,036 calories, and this is an estimate. As with all these numbers, they are definitely estimates. Don't think that what you're getting here is an exact number that you need to hit every single time. As you sort of play and tweak with the diet, you'll find things that will work better for you. So we've got our base, and we'll multiply that by the activity. So the activity multiplier is different for everybody depending on what you're doing for that day. So on a medium day for Jim, say he's gone into the gym, he's done 5-5 back squats, and he's done a 20-minute AMRAP. He's done some good work, but still moderate in terms of volume. He's only trained for that hour. Jim also wants to cut, by the way. So he wants to cut a little bit of weight, a couple of pounds. So we're going to put him on a deficit of about 300 calories, which is very easy and achievable. You can go upwards 500 plus in a deficit, but Jim's quite active, so we don't need to have a massive calorie deficit in his job. So based on his activity for a medium day, he would be on 3,347 calories. We're going to take away 300-ish, so we'll take it down to 3,044 calories. And if we break that down over protein, carbs and fats, which is the macronutrient breakdown, he's going to need 200 grams of protein, and that really is going to stay the same no matter if it's a rest day, a hard day, a medium day. That's what I would consider to be a minimum. You could have sort of 0.8 grams up to 1 gram per pound of body weight. So he's weighing 200 pounds, he's aiming to get towards that sort of number, sort of 170 grams to 200 grams of protein in a day. The next one's bringing on to carbs, 300 grams of carbs. And if you want to talk a little bit about the sort of ideal time to have your carbohydrates, that's going to be around your workout window. And then you've got the fats there, you want to spread those out evenly throughout the day. A time that maybe it's not so necessary that you need the fats is going to be your post-workout meal. You want to go with more sort of carbohydrates and protein post-workout. Let's move over to a hard training day. So the calories, you can see, he's got a lot more calories to play with on that training day, and that might be something a bit more difficult or a bit longer, maybe something like a 10k. He's obviously going to spend a lot more calories than if he was doing bench press or back squats just in a single set. So still taking the 300 calories away, a little bit more calories you're taking away. Just to figure these numbers out, still hitting the 200 grams of protein. Carb allowance has gone to 400 grams now, so he's allowed quite a few carbs, you know, slice of pizza, whatever he needs to get his carbs in. His fats have gone up a little bit, 121 grams. Okay, I broke the calories down here on the side. These aren't set in stone. Okay, so I want you to know that this is just a way for you to figure out your numbers, and then what I want you to do is to track your numbers for a few weeks and see how you get on. Not only will I track the number of calories you're eating and the fats and the proteins and those sorts of things, but it would be worth tracking your performance. Okay, so tracking things like you had quite a lot of carbohydrates over 2-3 days and you found you were able to lift more, or maybe you felt sluggish. Maybe you had more fats in your diet and you were doing a cardio workout and you felt fantastic. It's those kind of things that's worth monitoring, because that way you can kind of see whether you respond better to having a bit more fat in your diet or a few more carbohydrates in your diet. And the only way you're going to know is by tracking it. So it's up to you really to do that. A couple of other side notes. Like I said, this is just one way to do things. Other things that you're going to need to have: hydration, you're going to need that. Make sure you get enough sleep. So these are things that will definitely affect your body composition and performance. Make sure you get enough sleep. Your lifestyle outside of sort of training environment and working, I mean, you're sitting 8 hours a day, those kind of things. How often you train, that again is going to play a factor on how many calories you can have. Your age and your hormones as well. So all those things are gonna tweak it slightly. So if you're looking for sort of an easy way to do this, I would find this formula, track your calories for a few weeks, and make sort of adjustments as you go and see how you're getting on with your body composition, if that's something you want to do. Now, if anyone's got questions, which I'm sure you will, feel free to leave comments below. I'll answer as many people as I can, but hopefully this is quite comprehensive for you to kind of figure this part of it out. Okay, hope that helps.